Day one of the Pittsburgh Steelers OTA practice is officially in the books. And today was one of the most interesting days because we got to see not only Russell Wilson, but Justin Fields and Roman Wilson and Troy Fautanu all out here on the same day, the same practice field, getting in work, building chemistry. Today was definitely fun to see. Got a lot to see highlights. We got news, we got notes, we got observations from day one. We're gonna break it all down in this video. Now, before we jump in, I do need you guys to do me a little bit of a favor. Hit that like button just so we can get this video out to more Steelers fans, and also subscribe if you're new. It's free, doesn't cost anything, and we will be covering the Steelers throughout the entirety of the offseason. OTAs, mandatory minicamp, training camp, preseason, regular, everything. Okay, got you guys covered. So make sure you guys join the family. It's free and doesn't cost anything. Now, the first thing that we need to talk about here is the tackle situation. So obviously, Broderick Jones is a guy that is working both on the left and right side of the offensive line right now. And obviously, they bring in, Troy Fautanu, who looks like he could be a starter at either left or right tackle as well. Now, it looks like Dan Moore is going to take what seems to be a step backwards and be more of a depth addition at this point in time. Now, the good thing about Dan Moore is he is very mature, a very good veteran to have in your locker room, very uncomfortable at right tackle, which is why they're going to keep him at left, but I believe he may not be the day one starter, and he also said that he is willing to help Troy Fautanu at every step, every level, wants to help him mature, help him get better along these next couple of weeks as well. So that's definitely a good thing to have in your arsenal. Two guys and a couple of guys who just want your team to be better, even if they're not going to be starters anymore. So I definitely love to see that. Zach Frazier looks like he'll be a day one starter at center. The man looks really, really good right off the bat. Also, another big piece of news was Justin Fields, man. Came out and basically said, listen, I knew that my time in Chicago was going to come to an end. And quite frankly, I knew that Ryan Poles was going to send me out. I didn't know where I was going to go, but again, at the end of the day, I knew my time in Chicago was over. So he knew that from the start, from the tip, that he was going to be gone. Now, he also was saying that he does not expect to be riding the pine all year, okay? Now, what that basically means is he's going to come out here, he's going to compete, he's going to make sure that Russell Wilson feels him. Now, at the end of the day, Russell Wilson is very similar in terms of, listen, I'm going to help him develop, I'm going to help him be the player that we know he can be. But at the same time, Justin Fields is like, I'm going to try to take your job. Why wouldn't I come out here, compete every single day like I'm the starting quarterback, right? Now, obviously, Russell Wilson is going to be the starter, at least for day one anyway, but that doesn't mean Justin Fields can't come out here and just outperform him in preseason, in training camp, in minicamp, in OTAs, right? And if he does that, who knows? Maybe they do make a switch. Right now, Justin Fields is playing for a second contract, right? They don't have an option for him for next season, which means he will be hitting unrestricted free agency. Now, if you want a big contract in the NFL, at least for a second contract, you need to make an impression. And this has to be his year to do that, because if not, he's going to get paid to go somewhere else as a backup next year. And then who knows when he's going to get another opportunity. So this is a massive season for Justin Fields. And yes, he's starting off with the backup, but doesn't mean he will be a backup for the entirety of the season. Now, Trenton Thompson today, he did, miss the end of last season due to a neck injury. But listen, it looks like he's gonna have a little bit more rehab to go. I think he'll be back soon, but we'll see what happens with him going forward. We also got to see some more of the wide receiver room. Najee Harris was here today. We also saw Aaron Champlin catching the passes from Russell Wilson out the backfield. Also, I believe Najee Harris was excused for the first half of practice due to personal reasons, but did come back, towards the end of practice. Now, this is a big year for Najee Harris as well, because contract year, did not accept their fifth-year option for him, which means that he's got to come out here and make a big impact. He says he is ready to make the jump. He is ready to get back to playing winning style of football at the running back position. And the biggest thing for him is they hired Arthur Smith as the offensive tackle. Arthur Smith is a guy who really knows how to get the run game going. He did it over there in Chicago for a couple of years with, or not Chicago, Atlanta. But at the end of the day, I believe that Arthur Smith is going to help really send this offense in the right direction with Russell Wilson, but more importantly with Najee, with Jalen Warren, and with guys like Darnell Washington and Pat Freiermuth, who are really good in terms of setting up the run for the running back. So, hey, look for a big year for Najee or Jalen Warren, man. I think both those guys could definitely jump out here and make big-time contributions, you know, for this offense, and really lighten the load for a guy like Russell Wilson and what's his face, Justin Fields. Now, we also heard some news from Corey Trice. Now, Corey Trice was in uniform taking part of OTAs today, boys and girls, whoever's out there watching. That is huge. Corey Trice was a beast. Corey Trice was a guy that was standing out all of last year in OTAs, rookie minicamp, training camp. I'm excited. I'm excited to see Corey Trice back on the field. So that's definitely a good sign. Cole Holcomb was spotted with no brace. He was walking with no limp, but favoring the leg. So we'll see what happens with Cole Holcomb. Don't think he's ready yet, but he's working to get back. He's doing a really good job of you know, trying to get back into the swing of things here. The offensive line was interesting to start. Dan Moore, Isaac Samalo, Nate Herbig, James Daniels, and Broderick Jones was your starting offensive line, at least for the first part of practice. So that was a little bit interesting to see as well. I'm trying to think, did anything else really happen to, or I believe Troy Polamalu was there, Byron Leftwich, Ike Taylor, I think were a couple of guys at practice today, so that was definitely interesting to see. One of the major things they worked on in practice today was ball security, obviously wanting Najee, wanting these running backs and Jalen Warren to really be able to hold on to that football. So got to see a little bit of that as well. So these are just the things we you know, saw in day one. Now, obviously, as we ramp up, as we get more into training camp, and when the pads come on here soon, and whatnot, we get contact, we'll start to be able to see and feel who's really standing out. But as of right now, it's just so hard to tell. Most of the routes are against air, and you know, it's just the basics right now. So things will start to pile up. Things will start to get a little bit you know, more clear in terms of who's actually playing good. But as of right now, not too much to go off of. We'll continue to monitor what the Steelers are doing over the next couple of days. And don't you guys worry, because we will be covering it all. We're going to be here. We're going to be covering OTAs, training camp, mini camp, everything you need to know. We got you guys covered. So do me a big favor before you head out of here. Hit the like button, join the family, subscribe if you're new, turn on post notifications, and comment down below which one of these rookies do you think will make the biggest impact come day one. Let me know in the comments down below. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.